Good morning and welcome, guys. This is going to be the first stream I am going to be starting to do on a daily basis where we're going to be going over just the news in the ecosystem for Pulsechain. We're going to go over Hex stuff, Hedron, Icosa, general ecosystem talk, overall crypto talk, what's been going on in the markets, or not so much the markets, but really what's been going on. Maybe that's affecting everything. Like Gwei is up today. We're going to talk about all that. We're going to go over HSI auctions and we're going to talk about a ton of stuff. So it's my first one. Try it out. I'm going to learn as I go here, and this is just going to get better and better every single day. So every weekday, I'm going to be trying to get these updates out at about 9 a.m. So if you're interested in that, put her on. You can walk away, put me on as get your morning coffee, and let's go. I see a few people joining us in here. Got Ted Nelson, Brazology. Great to have you guys. Thank you for being here for the first ever little morning show, and let's get right into it. So I'm going to share my screen here, and we're going to start with Gwei, because right now Ethereum is not doing too hot. It's overcrowded at the moment, and let me just share this. Perfect. So currently, right now, Ethereum is getting swamped. It's getting hit real hard. Right now, it's like $9 to do a simple transaction to send from one wallet to another. This is bananas. Pulsechain, save us. So why is this happening though? Well, Uniswap is eating up a ton of gas fees. Fees the last 3 hours alone have been $1.3 million. And fees the last 24 hours have been $5.9 million. So I don't know if we're going to see this come down anytime soon. As long as these meme coins are pumping like crazy, then I don't see this going down. Even just for Uniswap V3 swap, it's $80 on the high end. To transfer USDT, it's $23. And for an OpenSea sale, it's like $30. So, oh boy, if you're thinking of ending a hex stake, maybe hold off for a day or two and see if this comes down. But right now, things are absolutely crazy. And this is even affecting, where is it here? This is even affecting the Bitcoin transaction costs. Not that we care too much in terms of our ecosystem, but still, it's crazy. And I didn't actually know, because I hadn't been studying Bitcoin over the last while. I'm paying attention to it. I know as much as clearly I should, that there are BRC20s on the network, which are similar to ERC20s. And the spike in transactions for that has been all due to this meme coin pump as well. So what's crazy is Bitcoin's even being affected by this. It's not just Ethereum. So that's really, really interesting. In other news I saw this morning that was really cool, applicable to the states, North Carolina House passes a bill banning the CBDC payments to the state. So that's a win, I think. This is one more state that's saying to CBDCs, the central bank digital currencies, and voting in favor of freedom or financial sovereignty and the ability to not be monitored for every single thing you do and potentially shut down for every single thing that you don't, or that you do, that the government or whoever that is in charge, the central bank, does not agree with. So some cool stuff happening this morning. And this is actually from yesterday as well. So congrats to North Carolina House. Thank you guys for doing that. That's amazing. I'm not in the States, or nor am I in North Carolina, but I still think that's a big old W for crypto and the world as a whole. So let me just back out of this. And what else do we have here? I think this is everything I had for the most part for the crypto news really for the day. Ethereum's just going bananas. Let's start with some Pulsechain news. I have to go to my Twitter real quick. Let me just stop sharing my screen and let me open up the right Twitter tab here. Sorry, I definitely thought I had this tab open and ready to rock, but apparently I have too much on the go, and so I'm a little bit behind. So I apologize, guys. Let me just get this up, and I'm going to share. Let's go to this. So yesterday, everyone was getting a little excited. Now, I don't blame them. I was excited too. And RH Max and I were streaming, and there was this update that happened on GitLab where the Shanghai was implemented, and there was an update that had to occur because apparently there's a little hiccup, but everyone's freaking out. And so Richard Hart came out yesterday and said, Pulsechain news. People watching server status saw a hiccup and thought it's mainnet coming. Nope. It's just a hiccup while updating things. So again, mainnet did not launch. We're close, but the question that I have now is, if this is a hiccup, how close are we? Is there more things or are there more things that have to be updated on the back end? And how much time is that going to take? I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what's going to happen. We're just going to have to wait and see if anything comes up on this front in terms of any updates on the back end. Maybe this is a small update that just needed to be implemented. And it's not a huge deal, but maybe it's something bigger. We're going to have to wait and see. I don't know. And hopefully that comes out within the next day or so. Let's keep going. And that's pretty much all I have in terms of the Pulsechain news. There's not a whole lot going on today so far. Everything's pretty chill on the Pulsechain side. So let's go into some prices here. And don't worry, guys, if you're here, I'm not just going to talk and talk and talk and talk. I'm going to talk for about 5, 10, 15 minutes, and then we're going to go into some Q&A stuff at the end, and we can talk about whatever you guys are looking to learn today, or just questions on what we've talked about. So let's first start with Hex, and let's go into the data for Hex at the moment. Let's go to this guy. So the Hex price is currently 6 cents. I'm going to bring up the chart in a moment here, but the T-share rate is now at 27,000 Hex per T-share. The T-share price is 1,700 USD. Man, I remember when we were down low at like 2 cents, 3 cents. It was like $400 to get a single T-share. Now we're at 1,700 USD. That's just absolutely bananas. So things climb fast. So get your T-shares while you can, because they won't last forever. And even the payout per T-share is floating around 6.4, 6.5 Hex, which is pretty dope. And it's actually been spiking over the last month or two every now and again, sometimes up to like 7 or 8. Or sorry, about 7. Let's see here. Where is it? I thought we saw a T-share spike, a payout. Yeah, about 7 Hex about a week or so ago. We had about 7 Hex per T-share spike, which was awesome. Big payday for a lot of the stakers. And let's take a look at the price chart here. What is going on with Hex? And let me see. Cool. So hope you guys can see this. So price chart's looking pretty good. We got a few green candles in a row here. We've been moving all the way up from about 5 cents. And I remember doing a tweet where I was talking about, 5.3, moving much past that's going to be really difficult because of this massive liquidity wall that we have here, or that we had. So, or still have actually. And we're moving now into the Hex ETH wall. So price is looking pretty strong. We're kind of moving into, we got a little bit of, it looks like an area here of possible resistance that we're going to move into if we keep rising upward, just above like the 7 cent or into the 7 cent area here. And let's go take a look at what has been happening. Let's just back up and let's see on a macro level or a wider level. Where are we here? So we're coming right into this point here where there's a lot of, we've had a lot of hits and support and resistance on price. So this probable support region is probably now going to move all the way up to the 7 cent area, somewhere in here. So let's take a look at liquidity though, and let's just see kind of what's going on here. This is the Hex USDC pair, which you obviously can't see because I haven't switched my screen. Let's see here. Info at Uniswap. Okay, cool. So this is currently the liquidity for the Hex USDC pair. And if you're not familiar with what this is a left to right price chart going higher for Hex and lower for Hex going to the right. Left is higher for price. And the vertical bars is the amount of dollars locked in at certain price increments. So people can place their liquidity in concentrated fashion instead of just placing it across the price range. They can actually place it in specific bands to earn more fees, which in turn actually makes price more stable. If it's more concentrated or if it's more spread out, it causes the price to be able to move sooner based on the same amount of dollars being input into liquidity. So that's just a quick little overview. I'm not going to go too deep in here, but basically we're looking like price isn't going to be necessarily held up by going higher or lower. We're pretty much in a nice stable area in terms of like going higher is not going to make us have more volatility, or going a little bit lower isn't going to increase volatility. If we get past the 7 cent range, we could start to see a little bit more volatility. But for now, we're pretty stable here at the 6.5 cent range. So let's take a look at the Hex ETH pair as well and just see what's going on. About $6 million in liquidity here. So actually, there's been like a little bit of an increase in total liquidity over the last week or so. So let's wait for our ETH pair to come up. And interestingly enough, we're actually, this is really cool. Check this out, guys. So this is the ETH pair. And again, left is the hex price going higher, right is the hex price going lower. And check this out. We are right at the tippity top of the ETH and hex pair. So if we see hex increase by probably, I would assume this is closer to 7 cents here, somewhere around this range here. If we see hex go creep towards the 7 cent range, we could start to see volatility increase in hex and run up higher. Now, I'm not going to do the math on the spot here to see exactly what the price is going to be at these hex per ETH prices, but I assume that if we run up by the 7 cent range here, we're going to start to see some price action if we see people wanting to buy hex. Now, why are people buying hex? Because they're a little excited to see that Pulsechain mainnet is coming quickly. And it looks like it could be here almost any day. Might be a little bit still, but it looks like it could be here really any day. So again, this also is for Frank here, or sorry, Rico. You can find this at info.uniswap.org. I'll put it in the chat here. Info.uniswap.org. Actually, let me just copy and paste this link so that way you guys can all follow me along if you'd like. And this is the ETH pair. If you go to the top here where I just clicked and you type in hex, you can go to the different pairs and you want to click on the ones that have the most liquidity. And you're going to be able to see what the liquidity is looking like today. And this is real time. So if this shifts in real time, you'll see it. So then you can go here, click on the pair you want to look at, and you'll be able to follow along right here. So I just put that link in the chat. You can go ahead and check that out right now if you like. So that's pretty exciting. Hex looks like it kind of wants to maybe do a run if things keep going the way they're going. Richard keeps tweeting and everything keeps going the way it's going. So that's pretty much all I have for Hex at the moment. Now, what I wanted to also do, let me see here. What else we got? Covered the price charts. We got the liquidity, got the payout per T-share. Looking good. Okay, let's go to app.icosa.pro. And let's talk about Hedron Icosa. So let's start with the auctions. What is going on in the auctions? Are there hex stakes up for grabs? How have we been doing? What's it all looking like in there? And second question is this going to load? We'll see. Maybe I got to stop screen sharing here. Let me just try this again. App.icosa.pro. Cool. There we go. Okay. So let me just share my screen again, guys. I'm going to do this. So again, I'm at app.icosa.pro. This is the place that you want to come to see your auctions, which I'm going to put a link in the chat here if you want to follow along with me. And so this is what we're looking at today. We've got a whole, look at all the billions of Hedron that have been burnt. 24 billion, 4.5 billion, 4.5 billion, 1.8 billion, 3.8 billion, 17 billion. Let's go. 35 million for 5,000, 14 million for 1,500. Those are deals, man. Still 65% off, 75% off. That's huge. Look at this. People paying 24 billion for 1.5 million, and they're still getting 43, like almost 50%, 60% discount. Man, that's insane. Let's keep going here. What else we got? 33,000 hex. I know there was a big juicy one in here somewhere. I wonder how much it went for. It was like a 15 million or 10 million hex or something like that. It's crazy. Maybe it already left. Maybe it got exited because someone wanted it. But that's crazy. Like 70%, 67%, 60% discounts. These are awesome. And there's not much hex going up for grabs at the moment. We had a big day yesterday, but so yield should be really juicy for the Icosa stakers and Hedron stakers today, or Watsa holders, actually. That's pretty sweet. So let's take a look at hex model and let's go and see what's going on there in terms of when the next HSI auction, the big days are going to come. And let's take a quick look here. So, Icosa auction data. Okay, let me see here. Let me go to May. What day are we on the 5th? Apply. What kind of auctions are able to come up today? Total HSIs. We got 6 HSIs that can come up today. So not a whole lot going on. Let's go to May 5th to, let's go through May 5th end date. How do I do this here? Today. Cancel. Let's just do today. Let's do next week here. Oh, man. Okay. Apparently, I don't know how to do this. Let me just refresh this. So it looks like we are May. So look at this. We're going to have about 1,000 T-shares coming up on the 19th. We're going to have another 357 coming on the 22nd and on May 9th. So we are in the 5th. So in 4 days, we're going to have a nice juicy 429 T-shares coming up. So mark this on your calendar, guys. May 9th, May 19th, May 22nd. And I believe actually around May 13th is going to be the day that the 270-day pool or the 270-day stakes for Icosa from the beginning are going to be coming out. So we'll have to see what's going to happen with price there. That's going to be really interesting to watch. And speaking of that as well, let's check out the price charts for Icosa, and then let's check it out for Hedron and see what's going on. Let me go to... I'm just going to share a different screen here, a different tab. So Icosa is kind of hanging out 58 cents. What are we at for our ratio here? We're probably below. I think we're probably like 9 hex per Icosa at the moment here. Let's see. Icosa per hex. Switch this chart. Oh, let's go back to the right one here. Sorry, guys. So we are 8.9 Icosa or 8.9 hex. So we've actually dropped quite a bit. Yeah. So we're under 10 now. So we've actually dropped below 9 hex per Icosa, which is a hell of a deal. And let's go to another tab. I'm just going to share my screen differently here so I can do multiple different shares. But let's go to lookintehedron.com. Let's check out what everything is looking like for the prices from their ceilings today. Shout out to Crypto Sloth for the dope site. So right now, Hedron is 47.8x to its ceiling, and Icosa is 4.4x to its ceiling. So that's almost, I think it's 80%. Let me see here. So, oops. Let's see. 77.38%. Yeah, 77.38% discount. So basically 80% discount. That's crazy. That's a huge deal. So what this means is if you're thinking of staking Hex to do the whole HSI buyback feature to get your Icosa, I don't think that's a good idea right now. I think you should wait. I think if you're going to get Icosa, just grab it off the market. Don't go to the HSI buyback, because what happens is if you're thinking of getting Icosa and you stake Hex specifically to do that, well, the problem is you're leaving Icosa on the table, because the HSI buyback function always gives you Icosa directly at the ceiling price in terms of its ratio and not at the actual price. So make sure that you're checking to see if Icosa is at the ceiling before giving your HSI buyback up. It's a big thing you're going to want to make sure. And oh, there's one more thing I wanted to talk about on that front as well. But I see a bunch of people in the chat here, so I'm going to say hello real quick. I see Jawa, you're in here. What's up, brother? And I got Stake Hex, thank me later. Let's go. DGen Dougie, Paul Splits, Crypto Elite. My question is, what exactly was the hiccup? Well, it was not defined by Richard in his tweet. So I'm going to wait. And when that happens, we're going to go over exactly what that was, probably in tomorrow's news if it comes out, and cover it then. But oh man, I had something here I wanted to bring you guys in terms of Icosa, but I can't remember. So we've already looked at the Icosa chart. Let's go look at the Hedron chart and let's see what's happening there. Let's go to Hedron. I need some music in here, I think. What do you guys think? Should I get some music going? I think last time I tried that though, I got hit with a copyright, even though it's supposed to be royalty-free music. So check this out. Let's just drop all these indicators because they're not doing us a whole lot of good right now trying to view this. Cool. So Hedron is kind of following this nice trend upwards. It's kind of keeping this nice channel going here, keeping this nice trajectory. And if you haven't noticed, and this a little bit of a little pro tip here. I wouldn't say pro tip, but this is what I like to do. Anytime there's green, if you invert the candles on your chart so that the red is going up and the green is going down, changes the way you see the chart. So if you see green going down, that's a buy signal. That way it's not red and, oh, maybe I shouldn't buy in red. This is your buy signal here. So if you were watching the chart coming down, you saw this hit like 7 or basically 5 zeros and 1 7. That could have been a huge buy signal if you're looking there. I don't know if any of you guys picked up anything down here. I hope you did. But this was a nice juicy region here we could see of support. And so we were likely to bounce. So we'll see what Hedron does. It's usually inversely correlated to Hex. So when Hex pumps, Hedron usually comes down. But we saw over the last few days, Hedron pump a little bit. And that was obviously because the auctions that were coming up. So now, of course, we'll probably see a little bit of a correction, maybe down to the 2000 region here, somewhere around this, depending on when these HSIs start coming up for auction. I think on the 9th, they said it was. So, but you never know. We'll see. Hedron looks fairly healthy, just nice, slow rolling up. And yeah. So let's just, what else do I have for you guys here? I think, oh yeah, let's talk about something real quick. Now, I haven't brought this to the channel. And so a lot of you might be asking, okay, well, Hedron's kind of doing its thing. It's slowly coming up. And Icosa is doing its thing. It's slowly coming up. But when are they ever going to go to their ceiling price? Now, check this out. So I don't think I have the tweet. Maybe I can find the tweet real quick. Give me a second here. I'm going to try to find the tweet. And then we will go to the website. Damn you, Alex, having the most difficult name to figure out on Twitter. Let me see here. I'm going to give you a hint, guys. Rocket Pool. And it's not necessarily happening per se, but he's talking about it publicly. So I'm going to share this with you guys, and I'm going to show you what's going on here. Whoa, that's my camera. Let's see. So about forking Rocket Pool. And again, this is Alec McWhorter. He is the developer, founder of both Hedron and Icosa. And this is his tweet. So about forking Rocket Pool. Trying to think of any reason not to make the protocol / insurance token Icosa, which we're going to talk about that a whole lot in just a sec. And he also says, maybe bridged in Icosa 2 or wrapped Icosa from Ethereum. That needs some thought. So this is really interesting. So for all of you that have not been in the loop and don't really follow Alex per se, or not in the Icosa Telegram, what he's been talking about is forking a protocol on ETH right now called Rocket Pool. And we're going to go there right now, and I will show you what I'm talking about. So this is a protocol where users can come and stake their ETH to participate in the validator staking as if they're a node without actually having the equipment. Now, you have to have RPL, which is the Rocket Pool's native token, and you also earn Rocket Pool rewards as well as ETH rewards. So now, if you can imagine, this was brought over because this is a massively popular protocol with 532,000 ETH currently staked and 2,500 node operators. This is huge because right now there really isn't a great way for regular Pulse holders to stake somewhere without having some kind of volatility in price mechanic affecting possibly their position in staking and getting them liquidated, like those liquid loans and all that stuff. But there isn't really something that you can just stake and forget about it and just earn rewards and in Pulse and something else as well. And so this would be the protocol. And Alex, the founder of Hedron and Icosa, is talking about bringing this over to the Pulsechain side. And this could be super lucrative and bullish for Pulse as well. But what would happen if this RPL token, so when it got brought over to the Pulsechain side, was turned into or converted to Icosa? So Pulse holders, all holders of Pulse that wanted to stake their Pulse to earn an APY or rewards daily would also have to stake Icosa in order to do that. And I'm not exactly sure how it's going to work in terms of rewards, but imagine that for a second, because this is what the conversation is right now. We're not going to talk too much about, what the details are, because this is still just in the works, it sounds like. But I want you to imagine what that would do for Icosa right now, because Icosa has a utility in it stakes. You stake it, you earn Hedron and Icosa. And if you take those and you compound them, you end up getting more of a pool position, or even retaining your pool position over time. And you're going to get more rewards for doing so, and basically build your money printers, if you will, into these massive machines. So imagine now if you take that, because there's just so much inflation going on right now, and it's like a coin distribution phase, that a lot of users are taking their yield and they're getting out, which is totally fine. This was expected. Personally, I was thinking it's going to take a year or so to roughly see this play out. So that was expected. And it was going to take some time for Icosa to run up to its ceiling price, at least in my opinion. But this would change the game. This would actually bring things closer to the ceiling price a lot sooner. And this could change the game for Icosa. Now, if you're thinking about, okay, well, if this is going to be just for the Pulsechain side, again, Alex was talking about the wrapped Icosa from Ethereum possibly coming over and being an insurance token as well. This could be majorly bullish for Icosa. So this is, I definitely recommend looking into Rocket Pool, understanding it. This isn't meant to be a crash course on it. It looks like it's super secure. It's got like 7 or 8 different pieces to its security auditing that's going on. It's got an ongoing bug bounty. I'm impressed, and I think Alex is the man for this job. So I am very excited to hear about this news, to bring it to you guys, and hopefully see this come to life when Pulsechain goes live. So let me just see if I got anything else. I don't think I've got anything else on the agenda at the moment. So I'm going to open it up to you guys now. Do you guys have any questions? I want to keep this right around half an hour here. So we'll do a few questions and then we'll hop right off. So if anyone has questions, pop them up right now. And if not, we'll definitely save all this for the next time. For tomorrow, we'll go a little bit deeper. Also, what do you guys think of the new studio? I got a bunch of, where am I going here? I've got a bunch of stuff that I'm going to be putting on here. I'm trying to pick up pieces to put on this display. And if anyone has any ideas, or anyone has something specific that they would like to possibly send to have it displayed here, then you can definitely do so. And I'll display it somewhere down here, or maybe down here. I'm thinking about putting some maybe like cars or something. Also, these frogs are not going to be here forever. Hold on, where is it? No, other way. Yeah, these frogs are all going to be going away at some point. I want to put Hex and Pulse stuff in there. So if you guys have any suggestions for what I should put to go in there, definitely throw those in the chat. And if you want to throw something to me that you've made that is Hex, Pulse, the ecosystem related, you can definitely fire me an email at cryptographics.com, and I would love to get that sent over and displayed over here. I think it'd be super cool, and I'd be super appreciative, and make sure I give you a big old shout out for sending that over. So let's see here. Thoughts on Pepe? Don't touch it. I mean, yeah, you might be able to make a little bit of money if you time things perfectly. There might be a little bit of opportunity left in it, possibly. I don't think there is. I mean, and I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't pay attention to it. But I think, everyone's talking about how good it is. To me, that's a top signal. So I don't suggest anyone get into it right now. I mean, yeah, Camilo, frogs rock, but I think that, you're playing with fire at this point. So just be careful out there, guys. Stick to the tried and true stuff. Only put in as much as you're willing to lose. And especially when it comes to the meme coins, man, be careful out there. Be very careful. Paul Spitz says, when do you think lunch is? Well, I think launch is coming. I mean, honestly, at this point, I have to wait for the news. I got to wait for news to find out what the hiccup was, what it means for the future of the launch, and if there's anything else that needs to be done on a major overhaul. So we'll see. I don't know. We've got I'm going to check over today, and tomorrow morning I'll be giving you guys an update on everything going on in the Pulsechain ecosystem again, if I see anything else coming up. But we're right at the 30-minute mark, And I'd like to keep these on a daily basis right around 30 minutes. So that's all I'm going to bring you guys. We're going to shut her down for the day. Thank you all for being here. There's about 50 of you here for my first ever stream doing this. This is cool. And yeah, this is going to be it. If you guys would like to, again, I have a book on Amazon. I'm going to bring it up real quick just so that way, if anyone hasn't seen it already, you can check it out. So let me just open it up here. Let's see. So we've got the Crypto Investing Practical Handbook. This is a labor of love from Vince and I, or Crypto Vince and I. It is on Amazon. The Kindle is completely free. You can also go to cryptographics.com and download the PDF, which is awesome for if you're looking at it on a computer. And it shows all the flow charts very nicely. But the book also has everything laid out. We fixed some of the errors that were in it, and it looks awesome now. I highly recommend checking it out on any one of the formats that fits what you want best. And if you don't already know about Hedron Icosa, the basics of blockchain, smart contract security, I definitely recommend checking that out and getting yourself all learned up. And if you, of course, want to learn more about the ecosystem, the basics, and get all educated and ready for launch, and whether it's small things or it's more game theory stuff or strategic lines of thinking, if you didn't get into the Pulsechain or PulseX sacrifices, I do one-on-one coaching as well. So go ahead and go to cryptographics.com. You can check out my stuff there. But anyways, guys, that's all I have there. Thank you for watching. I will see you guys in lots of videos coming up over the next number of days. And I guess our next stream will be Monday, not tomorrow, because tomorrow is Saturday. So I'll see you guys on Monday morning. Have a great weekend. Peace. Love you guys lots. And yeah, we'll see you soon.